Would now welcome Dr. Alok Bhuwan, owner of NGO Manovikas. Dr. Alok Kumar Bhuwan has spent 17 years as a professional and 10 years preparing himself for his life work. His efforts have been recognized by Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights, appointing him as a consultant, especially for special needs children. He represented India in the International Exchange Program for the Persons with Disabilities and presented the country paper in Japan during October 15 to November 30 in 2001. Throughout his span of life and still, he is empowering himself to serve and improve the quality of life of the persons with disability. Sir will be connecting with us now. The session theme is Personality and Soft Skill Development for Employability of Persons with Disabilities. So thank you for your presence in this webinar. We request you to take over.
Thank you, Sabko Namaskar, Shalini ma'am. Good morning, and
Good morning, Alok.
it is it's quite pleasure to meeting you here in webinar. I had that to meet you sometime. I was thinking कि मैं आपके पास आऊँ और मिलूं. भगवान ने अच्छा किया कि लॉकडाउन में आपको मिला दिया. Thank you everyone, and good. I was going through your topic of whole webinar. It was inclusive growth, and the inclusive growth in Hindi, the word of inclusion is called abhivyapti. Abhivyapti means is the everywhere, and vyapti means presence, the spreadingness. So this is the universal spreading of everyone in every corner is called inclusion. And now we have heard that the Krishna Chavra ma'am has told how we went to the physical, then how. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible. She's Miss Karishma Chabra.
Oh, Karishma Chavra. Okay. Karishma ma'am, sorry for this. And then Karishma ma'am has given the very good insight that how we are going to the physical, then going to the digital, then going to the artificial. And I also include one thing: we have to go for the spiritual. We have to go for the self. Through the self, we have to spread everywhere. We can acknowledge everyone's presence in this world. So inclusiveness is very important in everyone's life, everywhere. And whereas about my topic is very good: the personality and soft skill development of for employable skills. And I would like to tell you the personality. If we talk about the personality, it's a set of behavior, it's a set of cognition, it's a set of emotional pattern of everyone, which evolve you through the biological and environmental factors and everything. So the whole discussion is based on now I'll talk on that how the personality, how the one's skill, it make you the inclusive, and how you can go through the from the inclusiveness to develop yourself, to go for the employment, to go for the earning and independent living. So whereas this whole personality development or whole behavior of or whole set of pattern of individual is based on the self efficacy. The self efficacy is your own belief, your own understanding about yourself, about your ability, how you can perform, or ability to perform up to the your personal standard, the ability to produce the desired result in your life. And also the person should have the feelings of the importance of the life decision, how they can go into the life, what they want, what they desired in the life. So if I talk whole thing about the personality trait, it's a most important is the subjective well-being. So each and every individual has their own desire, their have own choice, there has own needs. So while we talk about the people with disability, the person with disability, so disability is always a subjective matter. It's not an objective things. It's a subjective matter. So if you go through, I'll request the students, if you want to learn disability in a research purpose, in your academic purpose, in your growth in the life, or if you want to work very wider perspective in the disability, you must learn the international classification of functioning disability and health. This is ICF. This whole ICF, the whole classification has the great understanding and advancement of human functioning and disability. How one person or how anybody in our whole community, in our whole scenario, how the person functions and what the limitation in their life is, that's why he becoming the disabled. So in the other sense, I can say, if there is an individual factor, so somebody like me, I can't speak English, or I can't speak Hindi, or I can't speak Chinese, or I can't speak Marathi. So I have the language limitation. So each and every person has the language limitation. Each and every person has the other limitation in their life. So always the limitation, I'm also saying this under the inverted comma, the limitation of individuals that lead to the disability. So again, if I say the limitation in the sense of personality, in the sense of skill development, so again you have to refer that ICF as a tool. So ICF as a tool, if you want to go for the intervention, you want to go for the profiling, you want to go for the employment skills or whatever it is. So inclusion is very important. The ICF has very good standard how to think about the inclusiveness. So the important, from the impairment means from the lack of ability or lack of any functional limitation or disability, from disability to going to the social difficulties. So like Karishma ma'am, she was saying, there is a n number of options available in our environment to unlimit, to make you unlimited excel, you make your unlimited productivity in your life. So whether the person, whoever it is, are getting that unlimited access of this all product or not. So it is always talk about the environmental opportunity. It's all about the whatever environmental difficulties we are getting, whether we are getting the opportunity or not. So if I want, somebody has to be omnipresence, that has to be sarvavyapakta, so everybody has to be everywhere. So for that we have to also create accessible, or we can say the environmental, or we can say the opportunity to enjoy omnipresence. If somebody is somewhere, so they are not, presence is not important, presence with enjoyment is very important. So this is how the life skills, this is how the soft skills works. And if we talk about the employable skills, the skill development scenario, how we can develop the skills that our person with disability or anyone in this scenario can work anywhere, or can be employed, can be independent. So skill development has the two process very importantly. So first, the process is to identifying the skill gap. Somebody has maybe some skill gap. I have given the example of language gap. So the gap is, the person has to learn the particular language, particular skills, particular kind of behavior, particular kind of abilities. So that is something, the in the first process of skill development, we have to find out what are the skill gap. The second part is developing, or we can say the owning these skills, that the training of these skills. It is important because skills determine your ability. Skill determines to execute your plan, how you are executing your plan with the success. So if I'll quote here one example, there is somebody, he is a carpenter, and he start his works, he gets the raw materials and wood and everything, but impart his skills, he put his skills, and then he makes the good furniture, then he makes the good building, then he makes the everything. So the skill has, there is a skill, everyone's skill has a very good dynamic condition, or we can say the dynamism, to change the world, to change everything, to change the aesthetic, to change every process. So in the case of a person with disability, if we talk about when the person with disability is, so or anybody. I'm always talking about the in general in inclusiveness. So there is a two kind of skills. You have put it here, the soft skills, but there is a hard skill also. The hard skill is related to your specific task. Suppose you all are, I think your USMS is department is doing on management things. You all are doing good job. You are learning the management. You are learning the skills to manage the big business. You are learning the manage the skills of big human skills, human resources. So if we talk about your certification, if you talk about your qualification, if you talk about what you have learned, if you talk about your ability, if you talk about your cognition, all these sets are the hard skills. But while we talk about the soft skills is related to your personality. It's always related to your behavior. It always related to your cognition. It also related to your environmental condition where you are working. So the personality, it is also this tends to the transferable communication, relationship, how you transfer the communication, how you transfer the leadership, how you manage the stress, how you make the decision, how you adopt the situation, the ability to deal the diversified network and everything. So that whole thing is your self efficacy. So in the personality, I have told that the self efficacy is very important to develop anyone's in life. So how we can develop, how we can go ahead to developing all these skills. I'll quote you one Sanskrit sloka. There is a sloka in Sanskrit that is called Vidya Dadati Biniyam, Binaya Dadati Patratam, Patratva Dhanmapanoti, Dhana Dharma Tata Sukham. So विद्या विनय देती है, विद्या विनम्रता देती है, विनय से हम पात्रता प्राप्त करते हैं, योग्यता आ जाती है, और फिर पात्रता से हमें धन प्राप्त होता है, और जब धन आने लगता है तो हमें धर्म हो जाता है, धर्म प्राप्त होता है, और धर्म जब होने लगता है तो हमें उससे सुख प्राप्त होता है. सो इन दैट वे द ट्रू एंड कंप्लीट नॉलेज gives you the discipline. So whichever knowledge you are acquiring, there is the inbuilt, the the part is inbuilt for giving the soft skills, the giving the discipline. And from that discipline, it comes your worthiness. And that worthiness, from worthiness, one get the wealth. If your worthiness, you are skillful, you get the wealth. And if you are getting the wealth for your good deed, and then that comes automatically, all the good deeds comes automatically. So what I would like to say, in the case of many in the case of person with disability, we have observed that maybe they don't have the access of going to the school, going to the primary school, going to the secondary school. So from the childhood, if you see, observe, there are these skills to become the disciplined, or become the disciplined life is somewhere lacking. There is a gap. So we need to fulfill that gap to give the primary things is knowledge as a discipline, this knowledge of discipline, how we can discipline, how we can develop their personality, how we can develop their soft skills. And once that knowledge, the secondary education, if we go to the secondary education, that knowledge start you're making you the worthiness. Once you become the worthiness, then you will start your good deed, you will doing the good work, and from that good work you can get the all joy, you can get the all happiness, everything in your life. So the money will come and you will become the happy. So this is the employment, this is how the employment take place in the life. So if I'll say that if you go through that skill development or skill training, so there is a something is, it's a job element is very important. While we talk about the employable skills, there is a job element is very important, and job element is for the economic empowerment that determines the self esteem of the person in the society, and such is the case of any person with disability. So the thing, while we talk about the employable skills, the job skills, the employable skills is always is the economic empowerment. And that economic empowerment for what? Economic empowerment for developing the self esteem of the person. And it goes for the everyone's life, it goes for the anyone's thing. So here we have seen how the virtual world, how the digital world, how the social world has changed this during this COVID-19 situation. The technology, the access, and everything is it is changing. It is everything is new, or we can say everything becomes the opportunity. So once we get the opportunity for the persons with disability, they are able to present what they have, the skills. If they present their skills, okay, somebody he is a blind but he's a good Microsoft engineer, somebody he is a physically disabled but he's a good teacher, somebody is a mentally challenged but he is a good in hospitality. So these are the presentation skills of that person. If we talk about that presentation skills of the person, then we find that the praises are coming, that their prasansas, the people is appreciating him. So once these two things comes in the life of the person, the presentation and praise. The prastuti is the pratyaksh astuti, and prasansa is the paroksh astuti. So if we get two things in their life, make the presentable, make the praisable. The person should, the society, the whole, everybody should praise them. So then the person becomes the very independent. They start capacity development. They start building their capacity. They trails in their everywhere in the life. So why, what I'll say in the last of my speech or last of my talking, we always, you will get the opportunity. I know many of the students will get the opportunity to work with the people with disability, to work on the employable skills, to work in the personality development, or to work on the soft skills development, wherever it is. So we have to think very important part, the special attribute of the person. What are the special attribute of the person is? So someone's strength and someone's quality, the strength and quality of the person. So the maybe the person with disability, he has lost something in their life, some functions in their life, but some other quality, or we have to find out the gap, or we have to find out which special quality the person has. If we find out that special quality or special strength of the person, the first step we have achieved. And the second step is the advantages. The advantages means, so the ability which, where he can excel, where he can implement that ability, where he can showcase their ability, where he can uh, tell the people, tell the world, this is my ability to do something, this is my ability to change this thing. So this is how the everything works, and we always have to work on the gun visist, or the, we can say that the special attribute of the person. And thank you very much for giving opportunity. Thank you, Shalini ma'am. I think I have not taken the much time. Kept I've kept the 5 to 6 minutes to have the discussion for within the group. If you have some questions, you please welcome.
Thank you so much for this insightful discussion from your end. Anybody for the questions, please? Anjali, just one question because we have the next speaker lined up.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Good morning, sir. This is Anjali.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would like
Yeah, please.
what should be the approach or behavior that employers adopt in order to be successfully implement skill training programs for the disabled?
Okay, the behavioral approach you are talking.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, there are the n number of behavioral approach, but we have to find out each and employment sector, each and employers has different kind of behavioral approach. It all depends on which trade the person is going. I'll just quote one example. If somebody he is trained in the IT, and maybe he's in data entry operator, he don't require any much more interaction with the customer or much more interaction with the people. So may he, the person, those who are the employer, he never
Please
look for
mute your
that
mic, please. Sorry, Bhuvanji. Anjali, अपना mic mute करिए, please.
yeah. If you go to that the IT sector, I'm just repeating the example. If you go to the IT sector, the employer he may ask for the behavioral traits, that the person should have the good sitting capacity, the person should have the good tolerance, person should have good hand functioning. So these behaviors employers may look because the job is that required. If the another person he is looking for that the jobs in hospitality in the hotel sector, there the person may require the good presentation skills. The person should have the good speaking behavior, the communication behavior. The person should have the good relationship behavior. So each and every employers has the different kind of behavioral patterns they required as per their traits and all. So I hope, Anjali, I have given you the answer.
Thank you very much, Alok Bhuvanji, for sparing
Thank you, ma'am.
your
Thank you.
time and coming here and interacting with our students. We wish to have you
Thank you.
with us in our future workshops.
Definitely, ma'am.
events as
Definitely.
well.
Most welcome.
Thank you
Definitely.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank